On the Paper Talk today, we'll be talking about England and Harry Maguire, what's going on there. We'll also be talking about Alejandro Garnacho, looks set to put pen to paper on a new deal. And, of course, we'll have the obligatory Cristiano Ronaldo story, because where would we be without one of them? Let's check it out. Jay here, Stretford Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm outside Old Trafford and it's pretty cold, I'm not going to lie. Get your parkers on if you've got them, and if not, and you can afford it, get one. Anyway, we'll get straight into it. Lots of stories to get through. There's obviously a Cristiano Ronaldo story, because where would we be without a Cristiano Ronaldo story? He's been responding to his own interview, if that makes any sense. He's done a press conference, or attended a press conference with the Portuguese squad. They had a training session. He's attended a press conference. It wasn't expected, wasn't planned. It caught a few journalists by surprise, but he's been commenting on that. So we'll get into that in a minute. There's also a story about United sponsorship. I think Maka might have mentioned this in his Gazette, but I'll just give you a bit of an update on that one. And an Anthony Martial story, which I'll get straight into. And also an England story. So there's lots to cover. In terms of the Anthony Martial story, there's two sides of this. One is he won't be going to the World Cup. There was suggestions that maybe with Karim Benzema and also Nkunku's missing as well from the French squad. I think he's already been replaced. But with Benzema out, there was talk that maybe Didier Deschamps would call up Anthony Martial, but he's not going to. But on another Anthony Martial story, there was a little bit of a confrontation at the training ground. Apparently, there's a kid called Dan Gore, who we got from Burnley. He's only 18 years old. Went in quite hard on Anthony Martial. Anthony Martial reacted and has since apologised. I think there might have been a bit of a altercation, shall we say, between the two. Martial unhappy with the way that this youngster's got into him. Obviously, Martial's had injury problems this season. He's recovering from injury. He's trying to get fit. I know he's not at the World Cup, but he's trying to get match fit and keep himself fit. So he's obviously not too happy when one of the youngsters has gone into him. It's been dealt with by, I think, Erik ten Hag as well, so it should be all sorted. I don't think there's much more there. It's one of those things. Also, training ground incidents, if you can call them that, happen quite a lot. So I don't think it's like the end of the world. The main thing with Anthony Martial is we just want to see him back playing regularly for Manchester United. He's done well when he has played. He's just had an injury-ravaged season, so I can understand why he's a bit miffed. You don't want players fighting. You don't want youngsters getting, I don't know what happened, but you don't want youngsters getting too much grief in training. It looks like it's been dealt with. We move on. Now, in terms of the Cristiano Ronaldo story, the one we can't move on from Jeremy Wilson tweeted, I think this was sort of early this morning, he said, bit of a shock at Portugal training ground where Cristiano Ronaldo has come to see the media, not advertised in advance, and relatively few here. Imagine that. The biggest player, or one of the biggest names in the World Cup, him and Messi, is at a press conference and hardly anyone's there because no one knew he was going to be there. Anyway, he's been speaking about the interview he gave to Piers Morgan. Now, what's happened with that interview has obviously caused a bit of a kerfuffle, shall we say, not just here at Manchester United, but with Portugal as well, because every Portuguese player has been getting asked about it, and I think that's why Cristiano Ronaldo has decided to speak to the media to address it. So he's spoken about it and he said timing is always timing. From your side, it is easy to look at how we can choose timings. Sometimes you write truths, sometimes you write lies. I don't have to worry what others think. I talk when I want to. Everyone knows who I am, what I believe in. He went on to describe himself as bulletproof and ironclad, and he just said about the footage of him and Bruno, that him and Bruno were just playing around. There was that footage one there that looked like they were a little bit frosty, or Bruno's been a bit frosty to him. He said they were playing around, his plane was late. I asked him, did you come by boat? So, lols. A little bit of banter between the two there, eh? Keep the spirits high with those cracking jokes. Anyway, listen, we're all fed up with the Cristiano Ronaldo interview saga. It keeps rumbling on. I think the Portuguese squad are fed up with it. I'm getting a bit fed up with it. I'm sure you're fed up with it. Hopefully we can move on from it. In terms of a happier story, it looks like Alejandro Garnacho could be signing a new deal. Fabrizio Romano said yesterday that United are confident they can get a deal done soon. It looks like he could be signing something around, I think the figures I read somewhere around the 50 grand a week mark, upwards of that, with bonuses and stuff. But we'll keep you posted on what happens. We want to get him signed down. He's an amazing talent and we don't want him going anywhere else. So we'll see what happens with that one. Hopefully though, he should be putting pen to paper very soon. Another story that's been doing the rounds, and this is the TeamViewer story. TeamViewer are apparently under a bit of pressure to pull the plug on the £235 million deal they've signed with Manchester United. It seems that one of their investors isn't too happy in that. They've criticised that deal and they're looking at a way of trying to get out of it, or if there's any sort of loophole they can use because they're not getting a good return on investment from Manchester United. We'll see if there is any developments there, any updates. If we're trying to put a positive spin on that, could this be something that makes the Glazers think the ship's sinking in terms of how much money we can get at United? Is it time to sell? Bit premature to say that now, but we'll see. You never know. It could be. It could be one of those things where you look back and go, that was one of the nails in the Glazers' coffin, so to speak. Finally, it's England later on. We'll be having a watch-along, England versus Iran. Big story doing the rounds this morning, which is boiling a lot of urine, is that Harry Maguire looks set to start. It sounds as though there's going to be a 4-3-3 formation from Gareth Southgate, and Harry Maguire will be a part of that. We will keep you updated and posted on any developments on any or all of those stories. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel. Yep, hit that like, share and subscribe button. We'll be back later on. I've been Jay Motti outside a very cold Old Trafford. Thanks for watching.